Hi everyone, today we're going to be drawing an eye in our art lesson today. I'm just going to be following the steps that are on the slide so you can have a look and see how each step should look. The first step is drawing an almond shaped outline, which is going to be the outline of your eye. So I'm going to start around about the middle of my page and I'm going to sketch up, down to a point. Make a slightly rounded section, come back out again and join up our shape. Step 2 is drawing the inner circle of the eye. So I'm going to start at the top part of our eye outline and I'm going to draw a circle, quite a big circle. It's going to come almost down to the bottom of our eye and join that up with the top. So step 3 is drawing the highlight and the pupil of the eye. We're going to start with the highlight, which looks a bit like a squashed out oval. And it's got a little bit of a weird tail. So we're going to draw that first. And then you draw your pupil, which is the inside of your eye, just underneath it and joining up with the edges of it. So I'm drawing the part of a circle underneath the highlight. Step 4 is filling in that pupil, so you're going to want to use a darker pencil if you have one. I don't have one, so I'm just going to use the same pencil, but make sure that I'm pressing quite hard and shading in the area in between the circle. Step 5 is to draw the creases of the eyelids. So to do the top one, I'm going to start at the edge of my eye here. I'm going to start out with it being quite thin, and it gets thicker as you go across the eye, and then as I come back down towards the edge of my eye, it's going to get thinner again. The same goes for my bottom eyelid. This time I'm going to start from this side. It gets a little bit thicker. You'll see that the bottom eyelid is not as thin as the top eyelid. Step 6 is to start drawing a few of those eyelashes. You're going to start by just drawing a couple of where you're going to add some more later. So longer ones go at the top and then some shorter ones along the bottom. The next step is to start darkening some of the lines that we have. So we're going to darken two things. We're going to darken the edge of our eye. To darken that, I'm just going over the line that I've already drawn, but I'm going around it, pressing harder. So you can see that it looks like a darker line. Once I've done that, I'm also going to do the same to the line that goes around my pupil. Once I finish that, the last thing we are doing is just drawing a curved line at the edge of our eye. There. Step 8 is filling in some more of our eyelashes. So just around the edges of the ones that I've already drawn, I'm going to maybe draw 2 or 3 more on each side, trying to keep them the same length so they don't look unnatural. Same for the bottom. And the last thing we're going to do on this step is draw some lines in our pupil. So they're going to be quite spaced out, but drawn in nice and lightly. The next step is just filling in a few more lines within those lines that you've already drawn on your pupil. Making sure they're nice and light. Also make sure that you're not going into your highlight area there. The next step is to add even more lines, but this time we need to press a little bit harder with our pencil. So you can see that some of those lines are starting to come out even darker than the other ones. They don't have to be evenly spaced. I can do a few more in one section if I want to, then another. Step 11 is shading the inside outer edge of our eye. So to shade, I'm just going to press hard with my pencil and go around the pupil like this. If it helps, you can move the piece of paper as you go along. Make sure you're not shading in too much, you're just shading in a little bit from the outside edge. So you also need to shade around the outside of your pupil. So I've already done that, but just to show you, you're going to press hard again around the edges of that pupil. You also need to fill in the eyelashes in between the eyelashes you've already drawn. I've done that by just adding more lines to fill out the gaps in between. The last step is to do some shading. Now, I don't have a shading pencil. You might be lucky and you might have one at home. If not, you can try by getting your finger and just rubbing the outside edges to try and blend the pencil into the page a bit more. You can see that that adds a bit more depth to the eye in general.